February. A short but very sweet month, both on and off the pitch here at SE7, when the playoff race is well and truly cemented. Game on indeed, so lots to talk about as we look back on the month of February. Here's what we got coming up. We'll go through our top 5 talking points of the month. The Charlton Coffee Club is back. Our very own Charlotte Richardson has saved her pennies to treat in-form striker Matty Godden as the pair enjoy a cuppa. We'll review each of February's fixtures. And we know lots of you follow us from around the world, but did you know that we now have a growing fan base in South Korea? That and much more to come. Well, a warm welcome to everyone joining us around the world. Delighted to say alongside me, Stevie Brownie.
Hi, guys.
Kevin Lisbie and Sir Alan Curbishley, as always, as well. And we're back here at the Valley less than 24 hours after what was a pretty successful Ex-Players Association Q&A. Have you stopped sweating yet?
Yeah. No, just very thankful to you boys. I thought the 5 of you were magnificent last night. Yep. I can't have asked any more from yourself and the 4 boys. I thought the stories were great. I thought the fans were excellent as well. And might as well do it at the top of the show. I thought Lucy McNicholas behind the scenes has been absolutely outstanding. The star of the show was not even on stage. But yeah, it was brilliant, mate. Thank you to everybody that helped.
Don't say that about Lucy because she'll hide behind the pillar.
Honestly, she doesn't like it. Yeah, doesn't like it at all. But she has been outstanding. The last brilliant. 2 weeks, she's just been non-stop, and it's not even hers to do, really. Yeah. So yeah, can't thank her enough. Above
and beyond. Well done, Lucy. Liz, honestly, it was a really good night. We had Curbs, we had Lee Bowyer, we had Chrissy Powell. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
And Johnny Jackson.
Was it on telly? Yeah. No.
Oh, right. Because there was a bit of swearing going on.
I saw the post.
Oh, right.
The post on
there was a bit of swearing going on.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
No, good for you.
I wonder where the swearing came from.
Well, every now and then it come out.
Over there, mate.
Was it just me?
How about you were the worst? You were the worst. 100%.
I thought Bo started it.
You finished it.
Did you enjoy it though, Curbs? Some great stories coming out.
Yeah. I've done Paley on the Elton John one. It was a better one, wasn't it?
You did.
Yeah.
And he called him Mr. John. You called him El.
I called him Sheila.
I wanted you to do the Steve McQueen's story.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that.
Moon,
yeah, we'll save that.
Save that for another time, shall we? But Brownie, just explain the great cause as well, because it is a really good cause. What we did last night for the Ex-Players Association.
Yeah, I mean it's a slow burner to start with, Scotty, as everybody knows, and we're trying to build something up over a period of time. You know, which probably will be somebody after me and somebody after that. This isn't one person. And this is going to go. It's going to be generational, and someone will take it over, and the fund will remain behind it all. But it's trying to raise funds for the Ex-Players Association, and every penny raised last night, and when Kev does the game, whenever that may be, all the proceeds from that will go into this fund, and it's just to help players when they get to an age where surgeries might be an issue. Like the PFA, the reason is I've gone through the PFA stuff. It's not simple to get the money. You don't get a lot of money. I've lost 2 jobs during a period where waiting for my NHS operation to come. And there is a way that you can do a private operation. You can get some money off the PFA, but you will need it topped up, absolutely. So we're hoping to be able to help players in their later years with that. Myself and Kev, we went to the funeral of Paul Linger, us 3, and could we have helped the family with that? That was 3 young kids left behind and a wife. Could we have helped pay those funeral costs? It's things like that we're trying to raise this fund for. And it was just an idea we came up with about 18 months ago, presented it at the club, and they bought into it. And they've been very supportive of the club in terms of asking us to carry that on and yep, go on, give us ideas and spread your wings. And that's where we're at the moment. But it is very much a long-term goal in terms of raising this fund up to be enough in the bank to be able to help people, not just 1 or 2, but dozens, if the case arises.
That is the aim, Liz, isn't it? It's not just a short-term thing; it's a long-term thing, and hopefully we'll get the game. But just many things going forward.
Yeah, I think obviously I spoke to Brownie about the Linger situation, and I done a game for him and his family, so we was able to raise some small funds to help them through a period of time. How long? I don't think it would have been a long period, but we would have helped them with the funerals, with the game that we had with the SA Dons. So that was good for him and his family. He was there that day as well. He was on his last legs, but he enjoyed the day, and it was good to see him again. So yeah, as Brownie said, this is a long-term thing, and we're just starting out. But yeah, I would say we're in the right direction, and hopefully this can can be something that could support ex-players for a number of years.
Yeah, well done on that, by the way, with Cloughie. We used to call him Cloughie, didn't we? The funeral, helping with that, and well done both of you going forward, and good luck with it. Okay, let's go back 48 hours now, shall we? What game Saturday, eh? What an ending. I mean, Brownie, you provide the commentary for Charlton TV. What's it like calling these 2 goals, and what was going through your head at the time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Terry and I mean Terry gets the last 23 minutes of the game. So here, I mean, he'll be so furious with himself, Luke, that he doesn't put that away. I mean, he's read that, he's anticipated, he's turned, he's faced where the header's going, it's come back off the bar and he's positioned himself brilliant. Just got to head it either side and we're 1-up. He'll be furious with that one. But yeah, I mean, I thought we had the better of the first half. This was a cracking League One fixture in 2 informed sides. And it was quite end-to-end, but this was a spectacular strike. You know, I think we get an angle from behind and it's slicing off, you know, away from the keeper, away from Mannion into that top corner. It's just a wonderful strike, an opportunist strike. And they were on top at this period. They had a 15-minute period of the second half where they were on top. And it's a shame because we'd kind of been the better side in the first 45 minutes and should have been in the lead. And you find yourself 1-0 down. And then we had this sort of period. And Ramsey didn't have one of his better games on Saturday, but he made 2 unbelievable interventions. One at this end with that, and obviously the winner in the 96th minute. 2 brilliant moments for him in the game. But yeah, I mean, it's just where we're at this moment in time in terms of comebacks. But again, you know, this one here, more often than not, that's a goal.
Yeah.
So, you know, I thought we were good value. We certainly didn't deserve to lose the game. Orient might argue that the second goal was a foul. They might argue they created enough opportunities themselves to get a draw. But I would have said on the balance of the quality of the goals, the opportunities we made, we probably deserved the win, but it's the manner of how it came.
Absolutely. Curbs, spirit in abundance, I think it's fair to say as well, but perfect execution late on the 2 corners.
But it's nice to see some goals from set plays.
Yeah, how satisfying is that from managers' point of
Yeah,
view?
because I think we've been critical of that. We've hardly scored any goals from set plays, and they're a massive part of the game, aren't they? And, you know, very similar, but we are a big side. You know, so if the delivery is right, we've got enough people that can go and attack it. That's exactly what happened.
Liz, I mean, no team across Europe, let alone the EFL, scored more late goals than Charlton in injury time. I mean, the stamina, determination, the sort of never give up kind of attitude is there at the moment, isn't it? There's something, feels like there's something special.
Definitely, I think Brownie actually mentioned it on the last show. We seem to be getting these last-minute goals that sort of galvanises us and keeps us going as a team. And nothing better than scoring last-minute. Team can't come back, so it's nothing better than scoring a last-minute goal. And I was actually watching this obviously at home, both of my old teams. And when I saw Charlton score, I thought it was 1-1. And you sort of turn it off, and you turn it off, and you think actually we'll take that away to Leyton Orient, who are doing well at the moment. And then obviously you look on Sky Sports and you see that we scored in the 95th or 97th minute. Yeah. 97 minutes, and I think, as you say, not many teams have scored many late winning goals as we have recently. Yeah. And it was a bittersweet moment for me because obviously both of my teams, but it's great to see us getting those last minute goals. I think it's really important for the team.
Curbs, you thought it was a 1-0 win, didn't you?
No.
Leyton Orient?
No, because when I got to the station, I was done at Kevin. I realised, listen.
Let me tell you, messages were coming through thick and fast.
But listen,
Curbs left at 1-0.
No, Curbs left at 90 minutes.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
I looked across at the 1,800 Charlton fans thinking, if this ends up 1-0, I've got to walk, because I had to get back to pick my grandson up. So I'm walking to Leyton Station with 1,800 pissed off Charlton fans. I didn't fancy that. So at 1-0, 90 minutes, I thought I'd go. And when I got to the station and had a look at my phone, it was 2-1. Yeah. Fantastic. Perhaps I should do that more often.
Maybe.
Yeah, leave the game early.
Yeah, I want to go back to the late goals thing because we're up to something like 39% of our goals are 75 minutes onwards. Yeah. Which is an astonishing statistic. Yeah. I don't think there's another team even close to us.
What do you put that down to, Curbs, as the manager?
Well, I think defensively we're always going to keep a game tight. I mean, we've lost at Birmingham one. It was a tight game. So defensively, I don't think we look as if we're going to concede too many. So if we are 1 down, there's always a chance we're going to get back in it. It's not as if we're 2 down and you're going to struggle. Mm-hmm. We were 1 down, as Brownie said, it was quite an even game on Saturday, and you can see why Orient are up there as well. But it was a massive game because it wasn't just the 3 points; it was going to open up something.
Well, let's have a look at the table,
Yeah,
shall we?
And it was a big result. And we keep talking about momentum, and we go into Tuesday's game. Okay, Barnsley as well, but we're going to Tuesday's game. If we can keep this going, we're going to put a lot of pressure. No one's going to catch Birmingham, that's for sure. But who knows with the others? The Wycombe one, who knows? Top 2, but we've got to make sure we're in the top 6.
Yeah, you can only keep chipping away, can't you, Curbs?
Yeah.
Result after result. I think that's 10 wins in 15. And if you take Birmingham out of the equation, we do sit the next best informed side.
Well, last night at the Q&A, I was sort of saying, we can do playoffs, but there were people shouting out saying,
Second.
why not second? Why not automatic? What do you think?
I think that's being sold to the players because of the run they're on. Why wouldn't you set that? You're on such a good run. They must be feeling extremely confident. They've been in very buoyant mood. The Birmingham game, which was a loss, was not an expected loss. And we actually went toe-to-toe second half. But there's a reason they're top. There's a reason they've got that gap. They've spent an awful amount of money, and they're a very, very good side, particularly at St Andrews, where I think there's 7 conceded in 15 games. They're very hard to break down. But there is no reason you should set your sights on that second, that 64 points, whilst you're on this run. We know it can change quickly, but whilst you're on this run, why not?
Yeah. What do you reckon, Liz?
Yeah, you're looking down and you're probably looking at Barnsley, I would say from Barnsley upwards, I think they all will be going for that second place. I don't think you're looking at 6 anymore. I think you're now looking at 7, second, with most of those teams there. And I think the points are so tight, and there's a few games coming up now. I think we've got 4 games in a matter of 2 weeks or so. So I think when you come out of that period, I think you're going to know where you are and what you can do. So I think it's just, I know it's an old cliche, I think we need to take it game by game, and then when we get out of this period, see where we are and then go from there.
I think the goal difference is a point as well, isn't it? It's going to be difficult to bridge that, I suppose. But why not? We've been saying that we needed a bit of momentum, and it looks like it's coming just at the right time with the run we're having. As Brownie said, the Birmingham game was quite even as well. But we didn't really look as if we was going to score up there, did we?
We'll come on to that game, but it does feel very special. I mean, last night, again, people were saying this. They haven't really felt like this, and the celebrations at the end of the game were almost a bit like how it was under Bow, and that season going up as well.
I haven't seen them like that after the game for 5-6 years. They were incredible, actually. I mean, I think Greg and Terry, who we know are underneath the bonnet massive fans, got the cameras out and were videoing that, because it was quite special. They were 15, 20 minutes. The players that didn't finish the game or didn't come on a sub or only played 10 minutes, came out and did a running, just sung all the way through the run. It was akin to that, definitely. Back to the Bowyer sort of playoff semi-finals. It was very, very good.
I had a mate of mine, John Reese, actually, who was there as well. He sent me the video of sort of 15 seconds of what it was like with the fans in the background, but the bench there as well. And I haven't seen a bench.
So I could have got to the station without 1,600 Charlton fans going there, isn't it?
They stayed a lot longer. But it is all getting very exciting now for sure. Nathan Jones' side chasing a top 6 finish, maybe even top 2 as well. So the club have put together a ticket offer for our final 6 home games of the season.
It's an exciting time. We all want to be playing for something at the business end, and at the minute we are right in the mix. It's catapulted us into a real good position. A lot of that is to do with the home form. When we're at our best, when the valley's bouncing, we need, the fans to be there with us. It's what we live for. It's why we do it. It's why you become a football fan. So a 6-game bundle could be a wonderful investment.
Bundle Super 6, the run-in, covers upcoming fixtures against Barnsley, Wigan, Huddersfield, Lincoln, Northampton, and our final game of the season against Burton. Be there and be part of the journey. Adult tickets are available from £110, which works out at just over £18 per match, while young addicts under the age of 11 can purchase from just £15. Head to the club website, cafc.co.uk. Now, I'm sure you don't need reminding, but just in case, we do have our final night under the lights at the Valley tomorrow evening. Barnsley are in town. The boys' home form has been strong and the noise here has more than played its part. Tickets are also available on the website I just mentioned, cafc.co.uk, so head over and secure yours now. Season ticket holders can bring along a friend for £20 too. Now, of course, we all know how important the man is alongside me here at this football club. No, not him. No, not him. That's the one. That's the one. What's happening?
Yeah, it's bang out of order. How quickly I move on, bro?
Something going to happen?
Actually, Liz was listening in rehearsal, so we knew that was coming, but Brownie didn't.
Something's happening.
That's
What's
fine.
going on?
We are sat in Sir Alan Curbishley stand after all. There will be a Sir before, I'm sure, soon enough. And quite rightly, we locked horns with Birmingham this month. Curbs was honoured by the Blues, weren't you, as well as appreciated by the Reds. How was it your day at St Andrews, where
good.
all four sides are probably clapping you and cheering?
No,
you?
it was good. You know, they really looked after me. So I drove up there early, picked my mate up, Keith Birchin. We went in there together. They took me around for a few lounges, and I told them a few Jimmy Smith stories, which there's loads. And then obviously watched the game. Half time went on the pitch. Yeah, whatever. It was nice. And after the game, I went up. Well, I had to. Keith was driving.
He can give you a bit now, can't he?
Yeah.
Can't drop him
I
now.
was on the bench anyway. It's probably not okay, or not.
Back there, go, oh, Alan, sorry,
It took a long time, but he's got me back. But
Revenge is a dish.
So after the game, went back over to the lounge, bumped into Brownie, who was crestfallen. He was in another room, not in the better one. And
they were both nice, to be fair.
Yeah,
They've done
they
a
were.
good job, haven't they?
They
I
looked
think
up.
they've done a
They've
great
done it
job.
up
Well,
to Andrews,
yeah,
haven't they?
it is.
In a
I
bad
mean,
place at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to see how it's changed, I mean, 27,000. They've got the same stadium as us.
Yeah.
27,000 now because they're obviously at the top. They look as if they're going somewhere. Invested a lot of money, but spent it well, and the crowd have got behind them, and you know you can see what can be done, and yeah, so they're going great guns, but we done all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a tight game. Never really made enough chances to get anything from it, but we have played the top teams, and I think we've shown against them, the Wrexhams and whatever, that we're as good as them.
Well, look, it's good to hear that you had a really good day, and I'm sure all four stands were giving you a massive round of applause. And while we didn't get the 3 points, Curbs was still able to make Ed Slater's day. Have a look at this tweet. With the pleasure of welcoming Ed and his lovely family to the Valley earlier this season, but Ed brought his children to their first game here, but this picture was at Birmingham, enjoying... Well, meeting Charlton royalty, of course, Mr. Alan Curbishley. A nice photo, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. It was in one of the lounges.
And Brownie, Ed used to play for Gloucester Rugby, living with motor neuron disease. I know he's done an incredible amount in terms of raising awareness about the condition, fundraising too. And again, it's another example of our fan base just being really special, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not, I mean, it's right across the board. You know, we can talk about that, we can talk about the trust, we can talk about what we're trying to achieve. You know, we are very community driven, and that's been the case for many years. It's something we excel in. So
yeah. Okay, well, this month we also spotted this pretty special message as well on social media, and look at that! What a brilliant memory! Lovely message too, Curbs, eh?
Yeah.
The other day I found this
I wonder
mascot.
I must have been dropped by Lenny. I must have been playing in the reserve somewhere.
Only the subs with the mascot.
'Cause ain't the Valley, is it?
saying?
There's no one in the size, is there? It must have been a reserve game.
Yeah. So,
That's brilliant, though, isn't it? Look at that Barnet as well.
yeah.
Look at his hair.
4-0 against Leeds.
Well, you made a life supporter there, though.
Yeah, looks like it. That's
Yeah.
what you got to do, haven't you?
Absolutely.
You know, get all the 7-year-olds, get them in here, so that when they're 14, they stay with us.
I wonder if anyone's got any photos of us back in the day. I don't know. We should
I've got a
ask them.
belter of you on my phone.
Of me?
Oh, it's
on
a
your
belter.
phone.
That's a bit
What
weird.
is it? Is
No,
it your
no,
wallpaper?
no,
Is it your wallpaper?
Is that normal?
Oh, no.
In his bedroom.
The wallpaper's a family member of yours.
We don't need to go there. But I know who you're talking about. Should we move on?
He's so stumped him,
On that note, no, not at all. Just thinking of what to say, but I better not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah, we'll do that in
We'll
the
do it off air.
debrief afterwards. Okay, without further ado, let's get into what will be our 5 things to talk about this month here on Charlton TV. So number 1, and we talk about the home form, 5 wins home on the spin. And Curbs, you've been saying for years, haven't you, about the importance of developing a kind of almost a synergy between the fans and the players, and therefore that helps getting those wins.
No disrespect, but I think quite a lot of teams come here and go, wow, we can enjoy ourselves today. Look at this, lovely stadium, whatever, and, we can express ourselves. And we've found it quite difficult up until recently. And I think it's been that the players have had to get the fans going a little bit. And now I think we're after the fans getting the players going. If more people, hopefully we'll get a better crowd on Tuesday. Because Barnsley ain't bad, and they're just hovering around it, So yeah, get a bit of atmosphere here, and as the players will tell you, it's a place that once it gets going, you realise you're away from home.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That too many teams have come here over the years, and it hasn't been an away game, if you like. They've come here and enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, just how important is it, Brownie? The fans absolutely bang on it as well with the team.
Yeah, and I think the covered end's getting slightly busier as well, which is always good to see. And we sort of said after the game Saturday, could we swell the crowd? Because midweek is tough. We don't seem to sell well midweek. Could we just get an extra few into the building to make a bit more noise? But yeah, the home form's outstanding. The defensive record at home this year has been brilliant as well. I think it's 11 goals against in the sort of 17 games we played, and we're over 2 points a game. If you can get over 2 points a game any stage of the season, you're doing pretty well. So the home form is spectacular.
It is important if you're going to go up, isn't it? The home form, it almost has to be sort of averaging 2 points plus.
Yeah, definitely. I think the push we're speaking about, I think, comes from the players and also the fans. We need to be united in this last part of the season. And I agree with Curbs. I used to watch some of the games there, and it looked for me too easy for teams to come here, play football. They look comfortable without any pressure, and then that's where the frustration then comes from the fans sometimes. And at the moment, we seem to be old terms getting in people's faces, not allowing them to come here and play simple football, easy football, and then the fans sort of respond to that, and then all of a sudden it creates an atmosphere that the players then feel comfortable playing underneath. So yeah, I think it's going to be a push from players and fans again. And I think if we unite, and for the last part of the season, there's no reason why we can't finish that second spot.
I always say it has to come from the players and the team first. Fans pay their hard-earned money to come here, but it's amazing how powerful the fans are. If they're positive or negative, they can turn a 1-0 defeat into a 1-1 or a 2-1 win, or just make that shirt weigh that much harder. So fingers crossed we can carry on how it's been in the last couple of months. Okay, number 2. Caroy's complete midfield performance, and skipper Greg Docherty missed out on the match versus Exeter due to illness, as is the case with all good squads. Quality replaces quality, and Brownie, perhaps we saw an incredibly complete midfield performance from Caroy, didn't we?
Yeah, I think he's been sat on the sidelines for quite a while, and to be fair, Docherty's been in outstanding form, and he's missed this game through injury, and that's what he did brilliantly well on the night. Or day, sorry. He was superb at pressing, and he got right in the face of the opposition. He didn't let them settle. He was making challenges. We know he loves going into a little 50-50. He can harass. He's perfect for that front foot press, which we've got, off to a tee at home, to be honest with you. We really are causing teams problems, and look how many nicks he had. I mean, sometimes it's hard. You look at Saturday's game at Leyton Orient, it was hard to pick a man of the match. We said afterwards, it was a tough one today. It wasn't that tough. I thought Tyrese had a very good game. I thought Caroy had a very good game. And I think he nicked it in the lounges. But yeah, and it's tough when you're on the sidelines coming in. You've been out just sitting, waiting for a chance, but he really did step through the door, given that opportunity, and kept his place on Saturday.
Yeah, Liz, Brownie talks about the press, the energy. What impresses you most about Caroy and his development?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at these clips, it's probably after losing it, no matter who it is, it's probably about 4 or 5 seconds and he wins it back. And I think that's really important. I spoke about it in terms of being at home and not allowing teams to settle. And if you look at those clips there, I think despite who lost the ball, I know you were at the team and you want to impress the manager, but if he can continue that sort of pressure on oppositions, especially at home, get this crowd going. I think it's really important. And if you look at those clips, and a lot of our possession were high as well. He's won it high up the field, not in our own box. I think that's quite important to try and win the ball back quite high. So then obviously we're closer to their goal, and then obviously more opportunities created. But yeah, looking at those clips there, he looks like he's hungry and ready for the last part of the season.
Yeah, and it's got you got to have someone like that in midfield, haven't you? I mean, over the years, it reminds me of Keithy Jones. I know we keep talking about the old days, but Kins, you know, Parker, you know, people, Kissy Chef.
That get the fans going as well.
Absolutely, go and win a tackle.
You need it at home, don't you?
Yeah, you don't expect them to, you know, win the ball and then defence splitting pass or whatever. But you know that when they're going for it, you've got a chance that it's going to be nicked. And you know, the other midfield players or the other players around it can thrive off that.
I quite like the fact Nathan left him in, because I thought that was a tough choice. That's your captain. He's been playing outstanding football for us in the last month or two. And he's basically saying, you come in, you give me an 8, 9 out of 10, I'll give you the shirt again. It doesn't matter who it is. Because it was a brave call Saturday. I thought you needed the 27, 28-year-old in there away at Leyton Orient. They've got a very good home record. And he didn't. And we got the result in the end.
That's important though for the team.
I think so. That's the point I was making, that you've come in and stayed in.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get that very often, Kev. I used to come in 9 out of 10 and out I come.
I know what you mean.
He was all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Always played.
They're always moaning about their life, aren't
I know,
honestly, these
I'm
are-
legendary for it.
they? He don't stop moaning.
It's so miserable.
He's only happy when he's moaning. Don't worry about that.
He's happy when he's sad.
We love him for exactly. We love him for it. Okay, third talking point is Kayleigh Green rescues a point for Wales, and have a look at this because our very own Kayleigh Barton, representing Wales, she stepped up to convert this 75th minute penalty to earn Wales a point in their Nations League clash against the European powerhouses Sweden. And if you have a look at it, I'll tell you what a penalty this is. No one is stopping that. There was no chance she wasn't going to convert, Liz, was there?
No, and I've watched Sweden play a few times. They are a good team. And that must have been some pressure on that. I've never taken a penalty for my national team before, so...
Why?
I was on the bench. Curbs came and put me on the bench for my national team. Yeah, the pressures, I mean, when I played for Jamaica, the pressures that come with playing for your country are massive, and to score that penalty against, as you say, one of the bigger nations is a really good achievement.
That's a brilliant penalty under a lot of pressure for sure, and brilliant to see a player of her experience stepping up at what an incredible moment, and it really important for us as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we scored penalty Sunday, yesterday. And I'm looking out the window and it's against the Lionesses, decent side. You know, it's tight at the top. Brilliant penalty yesterday as well. Unfortunately, we conceded in like the 95th minute as well with a free kick on the edge of the box. But yeah, you need a calmness, don't you, and a composure when you're taking penalties. But that was a good strike as well. I don't, you know.
Go on.
Well, you know when you strike a ball and you think, it was a bit high, but that one just roofed
She
the
goes
net.
high though, and it looks like
Yeah,
she
but
presumes
I
leans
think
back.
She's meant that, whereas
Whereas
not
I go,
everyone does.
Oh shit! Oh, thank God.
How did you feel at Wembley then?
Yeah, that's what I'm on about.
Did you see penalty at Wembley, did you?
I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about
He
it.
does not talk about it, so we won't let him.
No.
But I do just want to make one more point before we move on, actually. It was played in front of the biggest crowd of Wales supporters for a match outside of Cardiff. And we have spoken about it before, that really important that the women's game is growing. And it's great to see Charlton players starring and helping with that as well.
Yeah. It's definitely on the up. There's no two ways about it. And a lot of the clubs are allowing the women team to play on their home pitches, and you know, you're seeing some fantastic crowds in the top league, and if we can manage to get ourselves in there, I'm sure that our crowd will start improving.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, number 4, the Academy Spotlight. Some brilliant results for the under-21s this month. A 6-2 victory over Stockport, followed by a 1-0 triumph over Millwall, which featured several first-team players. Let's have a look at some of those goals, shall we? And whilst a certain Lisbie Jr. was on the score sheet for Colchester, the Addicts managed to win. What was the score?
I I lost count after 5.
It was actually 8-1.
I left at 5.
You did a curve, did you? You left early. But the month ended with an exit in the London Senior Cup at the hands of Dulwich Hamlet. But, you know, did he talk about what it was like playing? I mean, great to see him scoring and being a striker. You'll go home and, well, I did my job.
Yeah.
But what did he say about it?
I mean, Charlton were too good on the day, and obviously Colchester are not doing well at the moment in terms of under 21. He's gone from Brentford, probably top league in sense of the 21s. Now he's at Colchester trying to get into the first team, and I think that's the aim. The aim is to get into the first team. These are tools to try and cope with and learn the game. And if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. But I think it's more about performances than results.
Yeah. Did he say how good the Charlton side were?
Yeah, I was there. I watched it. They were really good. Played some really nice football. Some really good finishes. I don't know if we've got the finishes here, but there was some clinical finishing by some of the Charlton under 21 players, and some of them have really got bright futures at this club.
Mm.
I'll ask you a question, Kev, because it's your son, and he's obviously at Colchester. They've been beat 14-0, 7-0, 8-1.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as a striker or a winger, or and you're in those performances in 21s. I just, how's that developing?
Yeah,
I know it's. I'm not being. I don't want to be old.
Are you talking about the team?
I'm talking about the general.
Yeah,
I'm talking about in general for those players out there getting beat 14, 7 and 8.
Well, as long as it's not Charlton being beat, then it doesn't matter, does it?
I just want.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going about the grand scale of development football in this country.
But Brownie, we've spoken about it as well. It's not realistic. Like, I suppose you, as a striker, you can learn from that, and you can transfer that into first team football. There's not much you can do about the opposition sometimes. Charlton, what I would say about Charlton, they play really good football. They move the ball really well, and there's some clinical. These are really good goals, by the way. So I know it's not the same sort of atmosphere as a first team, but you're looking then to move this onto a first team environment. But you're right, though. Some of the defending, it's not realistic.
But Brownie makes the point, and it's a fair point as well. You know, we lost in the London Senior Cup to Dulwich Hamlet. So the step up to just whatever level it is in terms of academy to men's football, whatever the level is men's football, is a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive one. And Dulwich Hamlet are a good team. I'm not sure what was score 2-1. So I'm sure they're not expected to win these tournaments, but I'm sure they're there to learn from them and play men's sort of football. But for me personally, I wouldn't be 17, 18-year-old. I wouldn't want to be playing this. I would want to be in a first team.
How much involvement can you have when these teams conceding 8, 14?
Yeah, definitely. No, but I think times have changed now, and some of them signed for actually the under 21 players rather than actually first year contracts. Some of these are actually signed to play under 21s, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's quite sad. But me personally, I was speaking to someone on the day, and I would say in their contract they should have a month where they go on loan somewhere. All of them, it should be in their contract.
Curbs, how much do you think that kind of cup experience and that defeat can actually be beneficial? Up against non-league players, plenty of experience, more to the game, and physical, and it's not this.
I think it's the physical side of it.
Yeah.
You know, and when we was coming through, you played in the reserve, the combination, and you was playing against senior pros, and you could get beat up sometimes, couldn't you? Physically, because of the size of the opposition. And I always thought it was a good learning curve. And since the academies have been arriving, and there's got to be a fine line, I think, between is it about learning, the skills and etc. and whatever, or is it about the other side of it, the mental side, the physical side, that you've got to have if you're going to go and play in the first team.
Yeah, and just winning, because ultimately that's what it's all about when you're playing to men's football. 2-0, the defeat was to Dulwich Hamlet.
Which isn't. I know it's not. It's not a bad result against. I've watched Dulwich. They're a really good team. So they've obviously given a good account of themselves. But I think when you're playing week in, week out, I think that's where the pressures then become a little bit different.
I think that's when you realise, actually, I'm still miles off it at 100%. The moment. Yeah. Okay, the fifth and final talking point is pause for thoughts. Now you're going to see what I mean here. I couldn't help but bring you to your attention the latest season ticket holder to join the covered end, this quality chap captured enjoying the tactical battle against Exeter at the Valley. That's brilliant, that, Curbs, isn't it?
Who's it remind you of?
He's more positive than the surrounding.
Is he paying for that seat?
Must do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have to.
As long as he pays for it.
Yeah, exactly.
People sitting down for free.
Looks like doing a bit of commentating as well, better than others.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Exactly.
Sign on.
Okay, a bit of fun to end that one with. They were our 5 talking points of the month with you. Let's reflect on our 5 games in February, shall we? If you remember, starting the one against Blackpool, where we went 2-0 up, and it ended up being 2-2 against the Blackpool side, who hadn't suffered defeat in 2025 at that point. Liz, I want to ask you about your thoughts on the finish from Matty Godden as well. You know, really good little movement and a neat little finish, and he's certainly on fire at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I think his movements from the first time I've seen has always been good. Maybe weren't getting the goals initially to then complement the movement, but if you watch him off the ball, he's got really good movement. He understands the game. Even last season, I watched him play a few times last season, and I think he was someone that obviously the manager looked at and thought he was something that we probably never had, something different to all the other strikers. And I think at the moment we're paying dividends for his good form, and I like him as a player. I think he's a mature player as well. He's one you want in the team.
Yeah, we'll see it in a minute, but Blackpool, to be fair, had some chances in the first half.
They were a better side in the first half, yeah, and they had 2 or 3, but we came out and started very, very well, and that's a typical poacher's goal for a striker. He's in the right place at the right time. There is a touch of fortune on the miss of the shot, but he's still hovering in between the post, you know, alert and aware. We are on top at this point and dominating the game, and Tyrese, I think, comes up with the assist here. And you love to see him do that. I wish he'd do it every time he receives the ball in the penalty area. Drive at defence. Yeah. You know, 1v1,
There's no better goals than ones in the box, though. Those 2 goals, he's probably
inside the post.
Yes, yeah.
Listen, all strikers, all good strikers when they're struggling. But this, look, Nathan will look at that, and his coaching staff will look at that. And actually, to the naked eye, if you're just watching as a supporter, you probably don't think there's a lot. Oh, well done, Blackpool. But actually, I bet you any money you like in terms of what Nathan's worked on the training field, that's almost the opposite of what he's been working on. We let them come inside across the pitch. We overcovered on the far side and let them score. We were now struggling. We've gone from dominating to struggling and hanging on.
That's a poor goal in terms of this, Curbs. You know, disappointing from a manager's point of view. And Nathan, you 2-0 up,
and the nature of that goal, as we said, as you know, centre half bringing the ball down, and you know, I said to Brownlee, if that was you, what would you have done? And I think
you did in the group chat, yeah.
Been dropped for 3 months.
Yeah.
No.
You were on holiday at that time.
No, but I thought, I said you might have brought the guy down.
We saw it slightly different because I everything in my brain says if you let that bounce, right, and it goes up in the air, your 2 mates can cover in that time, so they can drop 5 yards. You can take a hit, but the ball's only going to go a couple of yards. That's your job at that point. Either win the header or lose the header, but put him off. The ball can only go 2 or 3 yards. You've got your covering defenders back in place. That's what my brain told me I would have done. But if then I'd have miscontrolled it, if I could have got near him, I would have brought it down here.
Well, yeah. Strange decision though to try and bring that down over your shoulder.
Look, you have a half a second, Kev. It's like you with a finish in the opposition box, right? It comes to you, you have half a second, and your brain goes bang, do that, and you know, hopefully more often than not you get it right. If Gillespie could rewind that. You know, the thing is, he tried to bring one down the next game. I was thinking he got away with it, but yeah, it's just one of those things. Your brain, but the brain told him to bring it down, and he miscontrolled it, and the consequences were a goal against, and it was costly.
Yeah, it was. But good teams bounce back the very next game and come back with a win, and that's exactly what happened when we beat Stevenage by 2-0 as well. Stevenage side that visited the Valley in good form. Goals either side of half-time for Matty Godden and Luke Berry earned the points. And Liz, not a dissimilar goal for Matty to the one we just saw as well. The TC scored caused a lot of problems as well, and what was a fluid attacking move. But it was really important we did bounce back, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I remember going into this game thinking this is probably a difficult game. They were on form, and you sort of think with our history at home with teams like this, these are the games that we normally struggle on. And it was just nice to see us have I say comfortable win. It's nice to have a nice 2-0 clean sheet and obviously 2 goals as well. I think it's important for the team. I think if we draw this or we lose that, that's 2 games, and all of a sudden the atmosphere changes again. And so that's why it's so important to have these sort of strikers that we speak about that can almost score from nothing. I don't like working for my money. I much prefer an easy goal. And look,
goal hagging, right place, right time.
Yeah, 100%. That's 3 goals and probably 15 yards from all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But it's a good striker's instinct finish to a very good footballing move. If you rewind that and look at the movement and the support patterns of that, it was an exceptional team goal. But we scored a minute before half-time and 2 after half-time. But in a game that we were dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember them threatening at all.
Did he say as well on comms, made it look like he was off to fetch a pint of milk with the most technical of finishes?
Yeah, just ridiculously casual is what that means. Look, it bounced off that bar at about 50 mile an hour, and he just side-footed in like he was off down the shops. It was like ridiculous, but
it's nice to get these.
It's a composed finish.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
These are all composed finishes. All 4 of them.
Matt is a poacher anyway, but Luke Berry's coming up with goals at important times. That is his game. When he's playing well, and he breaks into the opposition penalty area, he'll nick you a goal.
And the important thing was to bounce back after
absolutely.
letting a 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
You know,
and we dominated Curbs. I think they were.
Yeah, was it?
You know, I don't think they had a shot on target.
Okay, let's move on to the Peterborough game then, shall we? Which we won by 2-1 as well. There's a sense of those 3 points against Stevenage would only be really good if we could follow it up with back-to-back victories, and that's exactly what we did. Against a club that we got a very bad record against, but they're in a bad position themselves. And Curbs, the penalty broke the deadlock in the end, but it was really important to get that win, wasn't it? Despite with it being another late winner.
That's what I'm saying. I think that what Nathan will be looking at is momentum, is what we keep talking about, and dropping the points against Blackpool, then getting a result, and then getting another result. As a manager, you'll be sitting there thinking, "God, if we had the other 2 points, we'd be flying." But it all builds, and I get the feeling with the squad. I can't remember what goal it was, but all the subs jumped on the pitch and were celebrating as well. And and we've been talking about Matty Godden. You're talking about Matty Godden scoring them goals, but when you've got Leeburn and Ike to come on, and he's thinking, if I don't do it for 60 minutes, I could be off, or whatever. But everyone's accepting Nathan's decisions. You're talking about the one he made at Orient. It's because the results are coming. Everybody's in it together, and the aim is to get up, get promotion. So I think he's in a position now that if he came to tomorrow night's game, Nathan, and said, right, I'm making 3 changes, there'd be a lot of disappointment, but they'd just get on with it because the results are coming along as well.
That would have been really disappointing though, wouldn't it, to be a goal up, a man up, and then not to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant header from Gillespie. It's a wonderful ball across from Gilbert, who come on as a sub and got the assist. But that, I mean, if they show that again from a different angle, he comes off his man, curves round, so he goes wide and curves back in. And to meet that full on and control it right into the bottom corner is an exceptional header. But it's interesting because obviously we're not going to do what we used to do, which is then go and look at the penalty decisions. Because on the day you thought, I didn't think it was handball. Look, I don't know what, as a defender, I'm sitting there going, what can he do? He's blasted it at him and he's got his hands like that and it's hit his arm. And the second one, the guy brushes the leg and goes down. And you're like, no, I don't think either of them were penalties. But again, we deserve that win. Don't matter how it comes and how late the goal was, we absolutely deserve that win. I thought Peterborough looked on the night a bit in trouble in terms of they were sliding down the league, they're looking over their shoulder. And it's another game, we did win it late, but thoroughly deserved to win again.
It was a really important win against what is a poor Peterborough side at the moment. Did you see Matty Godden's goal swing as well, by the way?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm told he's +1.
Right, we'll come on to that a little bit later on.
Yeah, let's make sure we do.
let's have a look at the Birmingham game, which was our only defeat of the month. And look, Curbs, you're probably drinking champagne and eating prawn sandwiches. So
he was telling a Jim Smith story. Honestly,
what did you make of the game? You touched on it earlier.
I tell you what, I thought it was quite. We struggled as if we was going to make any chances. I mean, this is really unfortunate. He thinks he's going to go out or he's holding his own. But I was a bit critical here of showing him on his right foot, Stansfield.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if he's that good 2-footed, but surely show him on to his weaker foot if that's the case. But we never really fashioned too many chances. And we held Birmingham at bay, really, but we never looked as if we was going to get back in it.
I think Iwata has a chance. I don't know if we're going to show it, but he has the second best chance of the game. This free kick strikes the post. You know, keeper's beaten. You know, that's inches away. There's another shot that comes in from the edge of the box, a left footer, whisks past the post. You know, so they did create 4 pretty good opportunities, but we kept them at 1. You know, this is the cutback for Iwata. I think this has got to be a goal person.
Yeah.
He comes back a bit quick maybe, but he should go bottom left-hand corner there.
But because we're that strong defensively, we're always in a game.
Absolutely.
You know, you've gone to Birmingham, we're top of the table, and we're 1 down.
And they've spent millions of pounds.
Millions.
They're the best side in the league.
And Brownie, I spoke to you after the game, and you kind of said, look, it was close, we did well, but it was almost like a top boxer just
jabbing, just keeping us at arm's length for the jab. Yeah, this is our only shot on target, and to be honest with you, it's a 1 in 100 strike. From that on the weaker foot to try and get that across to the far corner is tough. And I had a bit of a disagreement with somebody about this because the centre half clears this if Miles doesn't edit, but he was convinced Carney would have edited into the back of an empty net. But I think the centre half's going to win that. But it wasn't the second half. I loved what Nathan tried. He changed things around. He went to a box midfield to try and make them change. He then went to a 3 up front to try and make them. Just gave him things to think about. And the second half was much more even. And you're just waiting for a perfect little bit of movement, great, perfect cross, mistake from them, because you've kept it at 1-0. But we just couldn't find it on the day.
Not quite, but only defeat of the month. So again, a good team bounces back and gets a good victory. And that's exactly what we did against Exeter, 3-0 home win. And, it was without a midweek game. So the boys had some rest, both mentally and physically. And we looked sharp and dominant from start to finish, didn't we, Curbs?
Yeah, and I think it's a sign of a side that's full of confidence, isn't it? That, you know, we've had leading 2-0 at Blackpool and being pegged back, and then going to a top of the table clash and getting nothing, but bouncing straight back. And, you know, once again, and another clean sheet.
Yeah.
And dominant again, Curbs. I've got to be honest. You know, Exeter played very, very deep on the day. Look at that. That was kind of Exeter for the entire first half. And it was just a case, can we get the lead? And we got the lead with an own goal with a wicked delivery near post that defender put into his own net. But then it was just, we need a second. You just want the cushion because, again, what I was saying about Birmingham, if you know, that one goal is you just one mistake, one quality move, and it's 2-0. And thankfully we went on and got the second and the third, but we thoroughly deserve this one as well.
Yeah, and let's talk about academy graduates as well. I mean, we spoke about Karoy earlier, but TC finally gets to go, and Miles' fancy footwork caught the eyes as well. Liz?
Yeah, I mean, this club has produced youngsters from the test of time, and I think it's important that we keep on breeding these youngsters through, and I think the fans relate to them. I think there's something there's always that relationship between a youth team player and the fans. So I think it's important that they're involved in the squad. But we've got a really good squad, and Curb spoke about it before. I think if you're not performing, you've got these people that can come off these benches and make difference, and it allows you to have the same energy throughout the whole 90 minutes. So I've watched a lot of these clips now, and a lot of it is we seem to be pressing quite high now, not letting teams come here and have it easy. And I think that's a great goal by Miles, by the way. I'm putting that back on my right foot as well. You think he could go with his left foot, but he actually brings it back onto his right foot. The angle then is tight, and you're thinking, why don't you just keep it on your left foot? And he actually sneaks it in still. It's a great
He can strike it with his left
I know,
foot.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know...
Yeah, whereas I would have had to. I would have, but
Don't go with it.
I trained Mo, so I know, yeah. I trained him not to do what I did. So he should really be shooting with his left foot. But yeah, I think if you're a manager and you look back at that clip and he doesn't score and you think, well, why didn't you just leave it on your left?
Yeah.
And then
It's
obviously...
an interesting one, though, isn't it? That if you're the opposition and you're winning 1-0 or it's 0-0 or 1-0 and then suddenly it's a change. Miles comes on with Chucks or whatever, then suddenly there's a defender. You suddenly think, oh, here we go. You know, and it must be a little bit of pressure on Matty. You know, he must think, well, if I ain't scored, but they could always play as a free because he could play as a number 10, Matty gone. You know, so as an opposition, you're thinking, look, Charlton can change with 60 minutes, completely change it, and then have some real threats, you know?
Did you ever think that, like, obviously playing and then obviously a striker comes on with more energy and you think, oh my gosh, we got to go again?
Yeah, I was usually, whatever striker was going up, I was going, I'll see you next year. But no, when it's not, I think it depends where you are as a squad. Because I think if you're in a good place and you've been playing regularly and you're in a set back line, it doesn't really bother you.
Yeah.
Not a lot bothers you. It's when you're not in a good place, individually or as a unit, you're like, oh, geez, you know, the negativity comes in. Oh my God, they're bringing on 2 6-footers.
Yeah, but not just that. You know, 2 players that can go in behind.
Yeah.
As opposed to coming to feet.
Yeah, the really
Because
interesting.
you're quite happy with it going to
Oh,
feet.
I'd always let him have to feet.
That's
but
fine. I know that.
Yeah. Where's Brown?
But when you suddenly change it, I'm not saying Matty don't go in behind, but when you suddenly change it and you know you've got 2 players that can go in behind.
Yeah, well, that's what Matty does exceptionally well. His timing of his runs is what makes him the player he is. But we can go from Berry attacking from midfield, Campbell, who's the other player, and Godden, which isn't particularly blessed with strength or height, to Miles, Chucks. And if you'd had me, you know, we suddenly become really big and physical with 2 changes. And it's like, in all fairness to Nathan, he left Matty on and brought those players on. So you can go hell for leather if you want to as well and go really attacking. So it's good options.
I'll tell you what feels really good, to be at this stage of the season, and the season's not over.
I said that.
Or,
Did
did
you?
you?
5 seasons.
Or even last season, just make sure we don't go down.
Yeah. It's no wonder, you know, you sit here season after season and we've been done by January, February. You know, it's been frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, what are the key things? We touched on this last night in the Q&A. So we're in the playoff places at the moment. Maybe look at top 2, but definitely try and cement top 6. What are the key things for you from here on now to at least stay in this position?
I think what the major thing that we've got is we don't look as if we're going to let any goals in. You know, that is a big plus. Because, you know, if you nick one, it's going to be very difficult for the opposition. So, you know, you could say, oh, we look as if we're going to score loads of goals, but we're conceding. That's not the right way. You want it the other way round. You're not conceding because you know if you nick one, it's going to be very, very difficult. And we've got that mentality at the moment, I think, that it's going to be very difficult for people to score against us. Secondly, I got it wrong saying that it's nice to see a score from a set play because Gillespie scored, was it Peterborough or whoever it was, but we are a big side. Once it then changes happen, suddenly we're danger from set plays. So we're now looking at giving the opposition a lot of problems, I think, because we can change and just change the formation and the makeup of the side. And it looks as if everyone's bought into it as well, because he's saying he made a big change against Orient at the weekend. He might make another one tomorrow night, but they'll all get on with it. And once you've got that momentum and that feeling, then it's very difficult. We're going to make it, if it is playoffs, we're going to make it very difficult for whoever we play against.
Well, we've also got the likes of Matty Godden, Luke Berry, Greg Docherty, Macaulay Gillespie, you know, players that have experienced that jump from League One to the Championship. How important is that in the dressing room?
I think that's massive at the business end.
Yeah.
I think earlier on in the season, just concentrate on getting points on the board. When you get to this end and there's pressure, you know, and like I said, the fans were absolutely outstanding on Saturday in terms of the way that game turned around, and at the end they stayed for 20 minutes. I think that'll have an impact tomorrow. I think they'll come full of life tomorrow to that game, and that is a massive help. But in that, some young players get a bit, this is unbelievable, and it's your Dochertys and your Joneses that go, oh, listen, steady down, no silly challenges, because even a sending off derails you. You know, you lose a result you should get because someone's made a challenge they shouldn't, etc., etc. And it's at this business end where the experienced players need to really kick in and make sure everybody, you know, stays under control. And there's that balance between the tempo. I mean, the clips they've shown today, the pressing's been outstanding in terms of the results we've gone and got. The pressing's been outstanding. It's the balance between that and not going over the top, because you'll get into that period where the fans are really behind you, you're getting excited. So I think the seniors will play a big part, and I think Curbs is right. I think the squad is now in a place where it wants the best for everybody. Yeah. You know, and that's a great place to get to.
It's a great place and not an easy place to find, but once you're there, enjoy it. Okay, as we say at this time of the season, experience can be key. The know-how to step up at the big moments is absolutely crucial. No coincidence that Matty Godden's fine form has coincided with positive results with the team, and a player who deserves a treat on us. Well, on Charlotte Richardson, who went again to chat to Matty to see how much he's enjoying life at the club and see if she could elicit some tips from our top scorer on his golf swing. Brownie's listening.
Matty, thank you so much for your time. Brilliant to sit down and have a bit of a chat with you, especially after such a brilliant start to the year, especially February, not only for you personally, but for the team as well. Tell me, what's the mood like in the dressing room? What's it like to be a Charlton Athletic player at the moment?
Big change from probably the October, November time. Obviously it was a difficult time really for everyone. We wasn't hitting the form that we had hoped as such after the 3-game winning start at the start of the season. Just petered out a little bit, but yeah, the feeling now is that players are believing, and I think that's the most important thing. It was the message that the coaches were saying to us back then was you need to believe in yourselves as a team, because we are a really good team, we've got a really good squad, the club's going in the right direction. Just believe that it is, and I feel like now especially that everyone's on board and everyone, like the feeling in the dressing room is everyone's believing that we can achieve something special.
There's such a togetherness in the group, and I think one of the things that's been so impressive about the season is that so many players have contributed at key moments as well. We're going to talk about your goals. Thank you, Neil. What a beautiful flat white that looks.
Is that little swan on there, is it? Yeah, beautiful.
Swan-like, almost like your elegance in front of goal, mate. That's a good little segue in there. But no, everyone's had their like individual moments of brilliance, and we've just come off the back of a really good 3-0 win. You didn't score, but I just noticed you look as happy when TC and Marv's are clocking up goals as well, and that's really special, isn't it?
It is, and it's important you have that. I'm never been the sort of striker that will. Obviously, I'm disappointed when I don't score. Especially if you win 3-4, 5-0. It's always nice to score, but I'm never sort of. I've played with strikers in the past that have had the ump and not been happy that other boys have scored and they haven't scored. A bit selfish in a way, but you've got to be selfish as a striker, and I am probably in front of goal. But when it comes to teammates and celebrating and being happy for teammates, I'll always be there. And I said to TC, it's about time that he's chopped inside and stuck one in the far corner.
Well, that's the thing about a striker's role. The key metric is how many times you put the ball in the back of the net. But I think for those that really forensically look at the game, strikers contribute a lot more than that. And I think even looking at your time here at Charlton, you scored like pretty much the first home game, wasn't it, against Bolton, which must have been a real relief for you. But the way that your goals have come about seem to replicate what's happened in your career. You always have these really, really good patches. Does that feel fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. I've always been like that. I wouldn't say I'm streaky in the sense that I go on little streaks and then I come out and don't score for ages. I find myself getting on a run, and that when I'm on that run and starting every week and in good form, and I feel happy and good in myself, then I can go on these runs and I feel like I'm going to score in every game. And I'm at that moment now, and that's probably the first time I've been at this moment probably for about 2-3 years.
Really?
That I was still scoring at my previous club at Coventry, but I didn't have that sort of feeling because there was other players and the team was built a little bit differently. But I've reached this moment now where I'm going into every game and I feel like I'm gonna score or be able to impact every game, and that's just the way that I am. If I'm not scoring, like at the weekend, I'm always trying to do something to have a positive impact on the team and do things like that, and that's the way that I've been throughout my whole career.
It's really interesting that you spoke about the squad having this sense of self-belief. As a centre forward, how key an ingredient is that? Because being a striker, when things are going well, it's really, really good, but to have that confidence sometimes when there are tougher moments in seasons, how have you found that as your careers and your experiences built up?
I don't really know. Me personally, I'm a striker that I never lose confidence in front of goal. I never have done. People may think that it might look like it, but me and myself, I've got so much belief in my ability in front of goal and try and find goals out of nothing. And I just try and bring that into other players. Because obviously you look at, TC's gone on this, can go on runs where he doesn't score in a while, but he brings so much more to the team, even when he's not scoring. And I know I made a joke to him about it's about time, and a few of the boys were slapping him on the head saying it's about time, but he has that, he can make something happen, and I like playing with players like that can make something happen, because I know that I'll probably get the chance off the back of them making something happen. So it's all about, hopefully he can now believe in himself that he can go and he can chop inside and whip it in the far corner and do it more often than not, and yeah, he's going to be some player.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Thanks, Charlotte. Thanks, Matty. Charlotte, did you have to pay the bill in the end? Or, yeah. For those golf tips, he does talk about the golf, big golfer, and he wants to play with us.
He wants a game against
Fancy
me in the
that?
summer. Oh yeah, I mean, off my 12, I'll beat him. So.
Do you reckon?
Well, if he's +1, he's got. Yeah, I'm confident.
The full conversation between Charlotte and Matty is on our YouTube channel following the conclusion of this show, where he does talk about his golf swing and how much he loves it. But you've worked with Matty and he talks about that as well. Okay. What kind of a person is he?
As you saw there, he's just a smashing fella. Like a really nice. As soon as Curb's better place than me. He had a lot more players come through. His dressing rooms over a longer period of time. But when a player like Matty walks in, straight away, I got given his name. Like, because at non-league, you are relying on people to help you out recruitment-wise. You are on your own. You don't have scouts and teams around you. You've got to go searching yourself, or a mate's phoning you from within the game, going, look, he's getting released, or he's been injured. He wants to come down south, and you take a risk. Walks in the building, first thing you're going, character. Character's tick, bang, done. This guy's a lovely guy. First training session, works his socks off, movement, during the session, outstanding. Tick, this guy's unbelievable. What's he finishing like? You go, finishing session, oh my God, why has he dropped down to the National South? That tells you all you need to know about Matty Godden. Backed himself to go down to the South, score goals, get back up, which he duly did. But he's a very intelligent footballer. First thing you notice, because you put on sessions and you're looking for certain things and you go, crikey, he's lost the defender 3 times in the first 5 minutes of this session. Better do some work on the back forward.
So Liz, how impressed are you with him on the pitch then? What you've seen, not just this season. I mean, he's been scoring goals for fun in February, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an experienced player now, and I always like players that are willing to play football despite where it is, and I'll get the sense that he wants to play football and he wants to score goals, and he feels if he's playing, as he just said, that he will score goals. And I think he's proven that as well. He reminds me a little bit of Alfie May as well. He's got a little bit of Alfie May about him. He's really intelligent player, humble. He's had to do it the hard way as well, which is always good, especially when you come to the Valley. The fans sort of connect to players like that, and that cardigan he had on is one of a Lisbie cardigan that also sort of
you won't see that again if you've claimed it's like yours. That's gone.
If he doesn't, it looked a bit big for him. If he doesn't want it, he can always hand it over. But yeah, he reminds me of Alfie May very much. So we spoke about what are we going to do now that he's left, and he's a perfect replacement, and I'm sure he looks like he's experienced enough to see us over the line.
How important could he be now between now
and
the end of the season?
I was just thinking there, because you've brought Alfie May up, I think a lot of people were thinking, we've let Alfie May go, all them goals last year, and is that a backward step, etc., etc. And then you bring Godden in from Coventry, which is a higher league, if you like, and he's come in, and what I like about him is he can adapt. He might, not like Yuli, but you could drop him into the number 10. You can move him about. Or you can bring other players on and he could feed off them. I think he's a very intelligent footballer. And, what Nathan's got at the moment now, which not a lot of teams have got, is them strikers. I know Carney's, he's out injured at the moment, or he's just been left out. But we've got, when they're all fit, Miles, Chucks and Godden. Not many teams can pull them up.
Different strikers, and they bring all something a little bit different.
That's what we said, that, if you're a defender, and suddenly Nathan decides to make a change, you've suddenly been having like Godden in front and perhaps his movement, and you're worried about that, then suddenly things change, and you've got people going behind, and big physical players. So yeah, we've got a good makeup of the squad that we can change if it ain't working so well.
Well done, Charlotte. Another great interview with the Coffees, and thanks for covering it again. I'm sure we'll reimburse you at some point. Let's see who you keep up with in next month as well in Charlton Coffee Club in March. Okay, while February was a short month, we still have time to pick the Chicken George goal of the month. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think you're going to be the decider.
Do you think?
I think there's going to be a split here, yeah.
Well, let's
Why do
see.
you think that?
Let's see.
We'll
the goals.
see. Let me see if I've called it right, Rodeo boy. You're a cow.
It's tough, isn't it?
I think it's going to be a split.
Who wants to go 1st?
I'll go for Fuller, please, outside the left, top corner. Beautiful. Weaker foot, that is.
Should we say who you're going to go for?
I'm going Miles.
Coached him.
Well, it's going to be
It's a difficult score.
I taught him to go left to right. We've done that on the training ground.
Sometimes you look at, and Brown will be looking at the defending and whatever, and is the keeper done enough and whatever. I'm going to go for Berry.
Told you.
Simply because the strike that's hit the bar,
Yeah.
and it's come back on his weaker foot,
Yeah.
and he's got an open goal, and we've all been there.
So are we talking about the tapping?
It's not a tapping, because it's come
You've got
back.
no credibility.
It's not a tap
You've got
because-
no credibility in this
No,
argument.
The geezer had to go and get a pint of milk, according to Browning.
Didn't Brownie say it's come back off the post 50 mile an hour?
Yeah.
On your weaker foot with an open goal, can you imagine?
Can I ask you a
Go on,
question?
I've got my judge's hat on. I'm
Can I
listening.
just
Go
ask
on.
Brownie a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that goal's better than Miles' one?
Which one? Berries?
Yeah.
They're two different goals. I mean, listen.
No. Because you're questioning
I
Miles.
want to go back a month where you went. If you score that goal in a league game, it's more important than if you picked the opponent, made the difference between it being a good goal or a bad goal. So you've got no credibility in picking goal of the month for me.
That's not answering my question. Do you think that goal is better than Miles' goal?
I got
You're
them on a
perfect.
par. I'm still going Fuller with the outside
We've got-
left,
we've all
weaker
got
foot.
different-
Yeah. It's a tough call for you.
3 good
It's
goals.
It's all on Minto.
It's a tough call. I think I had Luke Berries at the start.
There you go.
You know me, I love an outsider left foot.
Of course.
But for Miles' bit of skill, going past two players.
You know, it boils down to people that appreciate football and good goals, I think.
Well, so it goes through the keeper.
I think
you went for the can I just say,
If that had gone in
appreciate
against us,
Right.
we'd have been looking at the
I think we're
keeper.
discrediting how good it out.
Appreciating good goals, right?
Yeah.
You'd have left a trail and a divot outside the left for Fuller's shot. The groundsman would have come out and forked your divot. He would
How
have
many
forked your
people,
divot up.
for Luke Berries, how many people would have had a touch?
Well, it's a good finish. But Scotty's made the choice. They've gone with.
Yeah,
They've
Three
both
good
got.
goals.
They're both
They're all
great
good
friends
While
with
these
Cole
three still
Lindbergh.
carry.
So you know.
The fact that Carlo was my roommate, let alone my teammate, has nothing to do with it. That was great skill from Miles, and great to see him back as well. So
Yeah, that is a big thing.
it's a bit harsh on the other two, but I am going to give it to Miles Leyburn. So Miles, you are the. Here we go.
Okay, look.
Go on, Liz, talk us through it.
Look, when he comes in there, you're thinking left foot to drag that back, quick feet in that area. I think is a look 1, 2. And how tall is he? 6'7".
I don't even want to talk about.
He's 6'7".
25.
No,
So
this
that's
has
why-
got nothing to do with defending. I don't
It
think.
has.
He shifts him
Oh,
out of the
it
way.
has.
He moves him out of the space, then goes back into that space.
Typical
and then,
striker. That's got nothing to do with defending.
all right, I won't talk of it then. That's it.
Miles is a great bit of skill. Well
Yeah,
done.
he's a great
Yeah, it's a good.
It is a great bit
Chicken
of skill, it's a
George
good
goal of the month
By the block,
goes
that.
to Miles
100%
Liban.
goes
While
by the
these
block.
three keep on waffling on, we'll crack on, shall we? We always love to hear
Liz might
from
have
Charlton
blocked
supporters.
I would have been there.
That's all right, carry on if you want, it's not a problem. From those of us not here from far at the Valley as well, we received some great messages and we're so grateful for the support for the club. And this month we received a message to our club website, and let me read it to you now. Hello, Charlton Athletic. I am a fan of Charlton living in South Korea. I am not sure if you will read this letter, but if you do, it would make me really happy. I've created a Charlton fan page on Instagram to introduce your club to Korean people. My account is still small, but I truly hope to make it grow and spread Charlton's name in South Korea. I will always support you, Charlton. So that is a lovely message, isn't it? I have to say. Here are the details of the Instagram dedicated to all things Charlton. It is Charlton_Korea. That's the handle. So get your phone and give it a follow now. Charlton_Korea. Brilliant.
I'll be following him later.
You be what?
Following him.
Yeah, then we'll all be following for sure. Okay, we really enjoy sharing with you the wonderful work going on courtesy of what is our incredible community trust. And this month, one of Charlton Athletic Community Trust's adult disability groups will welcome to the men's first team training session by Nathan Jones and his team. Let's take a look.
So we've got a group that come in that have all got special educational needs. They're all adults over 18. And we do some training skills with them, some football and just general, I guess, sport, fitness. They were all really excited to come and meet the players, watch a bit of training. I think they wanted to kind of compare what we do and what a professional football team does.
It's what we are about, is Charlton family. So for them to have been training this morning and then be able to come over and look at watch the first team train and meet everybody, it's what we should be doing and what it's all about.
I quite like it very much because it has huge experience of doing basic training and different types of footballing and builds character.
And it was nice to meet sort of James Rodwell, Curtis Fleming, Nathan Jones, let one of our young people join in with the goalkeeper drills, so that was really good.
Lindsay banged in 2 goals. She absolutely loved it. Her face, you know, you can see how much she enjoyed it. So yeah, it was really nice. I've worked here for 10 years. I have been on appearances with players, some literally brought to tears with what the Community Trust have as their projects. I'm very lucky I get to go with the players to be able to see the work that the Trust does. And every year there's either like a new project, or it makes such a difference not only to the young people but also to their families who necessarily wouldn't have that support. So I completely think all of us should be working together 100%.
Well, look, Curbs, over 30 years of community work, up to 70 programmes being delivered every single year and millions committed into community projects and work. It's why, quite simply, we are regarded as the biggest and best community trusts in the country, isn't it?
And that's why clubs come and have a look at what we're doing and over the years, and to try and take some things away from them to improve their situation. And, you know, we've always been at the forefront. So it's been brilliant.
I mean, I remember when I was working for Sky and I was part of the judging panel as well of the EFL and the community stuff. They were very careful how they said it. I've said this to you before, I know, but very careful how they said, look, we don't want you to not vote for Charlton, but they're kind of like the beacon and everyone's trying to follow them and they kind of win in the awards. So we want to give others a chance. It just goes to show where we stand, doesn't it, in the country?
Yeah, and have done for a long time. And it was built up, you know, from scratch in the maybe late 80s, early 90s. And so it's been going a very long time and we're very, very good at it. Like Curb says, if you've got other clubs coming to monitor, it's just a bit like when someone gets the Championship right and they go up to the Premier League, they become the model club, and we became that for the Community Trust. And it's just been exceptional in terms of where it's got itself and the growth it's had over that time.
And Kev, this particular group meets every Thursday as well, enables players over the age of 18 with additional needs to play. And it's just so important that something like that is set up locally for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all in the word, isn't it? Community. And I think, as Brownie said, this club has stood for community since the day I walked into this building. It's important to not only the players but also the staff and the fans. So yeah, we sit here every month and we see these inspirational videos, and it's so important because I think sometimes we can get carried away with the world we live in, and we sort of lose focus on really what's important. And I think looking at that community is really important, especially to this club.
Absolutely. The trust showing why it's the beacon light in the country, and grassroots at its very best. Okay, moving on now, but sticking with the subject of making special memories. A half-term fell in the middle of the month, which can be tricky to entertain the kids throughout. Shame we didn't have a midweek match, but nevertheless, last Monday, Thierry Small and Josh Edwards took part in a signing session. Defensive duo spent 90 minutes in the Valley Superstore, meeting and greeting fans, signing autographs and having lots of photos being taken as well. And the pair have both played a crucial role in the Addicts' recent run. So let's have a look at their visit.
Me and Thierry have came down to meet some of the fans at the Charlton Superstore. We've been signing some pictures, signing on their tops, so it's been a great day, and we've enjoyed meeting everyone that's came down.
Well, I gifted a nice little sheet of paper with like a little drawing on with me on it, which was nice. So yeah, it was nice to be giving little gifts here and there as well. So it was a good day.
Brilliant, isn't it? You know, we get to do that at this club. It's really nice. There's that sort of outreach and engagement between the players, the team and the supporters, and for young ones it's great. It keeps them engaged.
I think it's really important because it's obviously, it being half term, it's a great opportunity for the young kids to meet their heroes and to chat to them about different games and different moments from different games. And it's a really good way for the club to open themselves up to the fan base.
It's been really nice to meet them, because it's not like every day you get to meet them, and you see them all the time at the matches, but you don't actually get to talk to them. We had a nice chat with them. We got to queue up and talk to them, and it was really nice.
The support recently has been unbelievable, and the more fans we can get in, I feel it's going to help us play even better and hopefully push towards a playoff spot. I've not received any gifts like Thierry, unfortunately, but I've really enjoyed speaking to everyone, and yeah, it's just great to see all the sort of fans come through and have your own wee little chit chats with them and all that. It's brilliant.
Curbs, again, we talk about the community and speaking to people and being there and being seen to be there as well. How important is that in terms of that interaction?
Yeah, and as I said earlier, I think when me and Gritty was in charge, the big thing at the club was that we'd lost a generation of fans, you know, Selhurst Park, Upton Park. And the theme was, let's attract the 7, 8-year-olds that, you know, we've been away for 6 or 7 years. They're all now 14 supporting other clubs. So now let's really get into the youngsters, do as much as we can to, you know, engage, and hopefully they'll become fans and they stay with you, which is what has happened. And things like that, hopefully, the youngsters in the shop there become fans.
Yeah, get them hooked. How important are those two being on the pitch?
Very, very. Yeah, they're slightly different players, aren't they? What Thierry Small allows us to do is push him really high up and push the opposition back on the right-hand side, and I think Edwards is much happier playing slightly deeper and coming from deep. 1v1, I think he's been exceptional. You know, I think we identified that pretty quickly when he first came in the side. You know, he doesn't mind going toe-to-toe on the outside with anybody in the league, and even when you think he's done, he gets back in there, claws his leg round and makes a challenge. But yeah, Thierry's the one that wants to burst forward and, you know, get into the opposition box and take on. He doesn't mind if it's one or two. He'll try and take on both. But yeah, they offer something slightly different, but both have been vital to the last couple of months and the results.
Absolutely. Okay, before we move on, as we've just seen in the Valley Superstore there are some good offers available for supporters. Currently 50% off this season's 24-25 home shirt. As we look paint League One, read snap yours off. Whilst our popular away and third shirts are both priced at £18 for adults and £15 for kids respectively. All travel and training wear is 40% off at the moment too. So if you want to get down and treat yourself, or maybe a fellow addict, then enjoy the shopping. OK, well, on Saturday the 29th of March, ahead of our crucial game against Huddersfield, the club is hosting our annual PSA testing match day at the Valley. There he is. You doing it again, Curbs?
Yeah.
I need to do mine, actually.
If you want to come to Cancun.
he's just thrown in Cancun.
I'm only back in
I love it, love it. Fans of both clubs can book in a slot to be tested. Last season, amongst the hundreds who were tested, on a serious level, 24 supporters received a red result and were flagged with 16 amber results. These are life-changing interventions which couldn't happen without a huge fundraising effort. Head of First Team Player Care Tracy Leyburn is running the London Landmarks Half Marathon to raise funds to enable the event to run. And to help her preparations, TJ has been put through her paces at the training ground, and we managed to sneak our cameras down to take a peek.
March the 29th, Charlton Athletic host Huddersfield Town, a massive game against a playoff rival. But importantly, before kick-off, we're inviting 500 supporters to come along and have their PSA testing. It's an event we hold every year. It requires a hell of a lot of fundraising, and our very own Tracy Leyburn is running the London Landmarks Half Marathon.
I've got to go, I'm late for training. Well, they're just uncomfortable things. Feels like you're wearing like 9 pairs of stilettos. I think they're cool. They've even got this thing. Look, this thing does this, look. Hi. We're not starting there, are we? I'll have to wait for the boys to come out.
So Tracy, we are running the London Landmarks Half Marathon in April. Yeah. The training regime's going up a notch today though, because you're here at Sparrows Lane and you're taking part in first team training. How are you feeling?
I'm honestly absolutely myself. I've never worn a pair of football boots.
You've gone with the Preds though.
I'm probably going to just trip over before I even get on the pitch. I watched yesterday's and I was like, you know what, I can do this. I've never watched it in 10 years, watched it yesterday, but then I got told that was the easy recovery session, and today is 70% harder.
70% harder, but you've been doing the training. Here, Skipper. Greg, we need a motivational word or two.
Yeah, I'm proper. Yeah, a little bit nervous. I just got to get through it.
Greg will look after, these guys will look after you out there.
You might have to carry me, like, towards the end.
Well, on that note, I'm going to leave you in Greg's capable hands. Did you make your way to your first training session?
I think I'll walk round. I don't want to in between myself before I even start. Is yours Pred?
Yeah.
Oh, have I?
You feel like a midfielder, Tracy?
I can do this. I just got to take it slowly, like I don't want to be pulling something. Right, this is my first experience of going on the old grass.
How many years have you worked here at this place?
10 years.
10 years and first time on the grass. Got a trialist with me today. Meeting a new trialist, TJ.
Hi, nice to meet you. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm a striker. Oh, we've got run.
Yeah, just coming over. Nice one,
Bit of
Craig.
skill there.
Back it on, so that's on your back.
Okay. Oh, it's like it's got a sports bra on. He's taking my water bottle. Look, I've got my little pink water bottle in there. God, I really am official.
Come on,
Can you carry me? We got this.
Can I quickly just say something, please? Lads, obviously we've got a trialist today. TJ, new midfielder. No, in all seriousness, she's been doing amazing, raising money for a really good cause, PSA, and obviously we want to sponsor her as a boy. She does a lot for us and we'll help her get through the warm-up today.
So have I got to do the whole warm-up?
We've got faith in you, you've been training hard, and obviously after 10 years she's put her boots on and working here, so let's get behind her. Come on, let's do it.
Just run. I haven't warmed up yet.
Let's get ourselves going. Let's be nice and bright with it.
Tired already.
Pushing off that back leg, a little bit of height on your skip.
Oh God.
Get them hips firing up, gas.
Gaffer's coming. The gaffer's coming. This isn't like yesterday's Tom.
One up a little bit.
Yeah, slow up.
T, we're going to cruise into the orange one.
Heart rate's
Push
through the
off the
roof.
middle one.
More running.
Nice, John. Big sweeps, Con, next time out. Nice big hammy sweeps. Nice big range on it, everything mowed up, ready to go. Then we're straight leg TC on the way back.
I quite like yesterday's, they look really
Con,
nice.
Start, Con.
Nice and easy.
No ankles.
Today's help.
No ankles, dot. No contact. Nice 10-8. T2 of everything, same again. Love it, Mitch. Nice T, love it. Love it, Thierry.
Where's the water break? That's tough, you know. Oh.
Halfway.
Is it halfway?
Yeah, no, the hard bit.
Cheers. Got vodka in mine. Joke, 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 joke. Oh,
Yeah, well.
Thanks, love. What do we do now?
There's going to be some, like, the hurdles and then...
How do you do the hurdles? I've never done hurdles. I could do this. I might not do it fast. I'm training for the Olympics.
Yes, Tracy, nice, you, there we go. Yes, T. Love it, T.
How's my heart rate, Tom? This is all your fault. It's not through the roof, is it?
Yes, Bez. Nice T, love it, T. Bright Thierry, love that.
Is it time to tab you in now, Nathan?
Coming up, T.
Damn.
Coming up to the board, that's TJ. Thierry, love that, love that. Excellent, gents. Right,
Feeling my
T,
hammy.
Yes, Chuck, nice Chuck, love it. Nice T. Love it, guys. Good work. Good work.
Was that it? Hooray! Oh, thank you. It was all your fault. Never listening to your suggestions again. Actually, no, it wasn't too bad. Done. I don't know about smashing it, but... Oh, God. My legs.
Well done.
Oh, well done. Thanks. God knows what we're going to be like after 13 miles.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? 13 miles in April. PSA testing, not that long away now, so we need everyone to sign up, don't we? We need to get those places full.
Anybody aged 45 and over, please just book in for your slot.
Right, can we make you a cuppa? You want to put your feet up?
Yeah, I get these stupid beats off.
Well, look, TJ, fair play. For all his time, though, Kers, we thought Miles got his skills from Carlo, but clearly he got physical attributes from TJ.
Well, I'm just looking at that. Tracy and Miles are a lot quicker than Carlo.
Bang out of order. Bang out. Remember the time Prince William came down?
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? It was funny, wasn't it? We set him up a little bit, didn't we, in the warm-up, and I think Luke Young sort of got hold of Nick Davies and said, like, you know, put him through his paces a little bit stiffer than we normally do. And after about 10 minutes, he was on his hands and knees, wasn't he? And I remember looking over, and I think one of the boys went, "You all right, mate? You all right?" He went, "Oh, I had a good drink last night." He said, "I wasn't expecting this."
I'm sure it was good stuff. I'm sure it was the good stuff he was drinking, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would have been the good
Probably
stuff.
claret.
I can't believe you did that to the future king. But Liz, it was a good bit of fun, but on a serious note, men over 50, men with a history of prostate cancer, and black men as well are more at risk of prostate cancer. So having this chat now as well, TJ doing what she's doing and the testing is absolutely crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, we laugh and joke around, but the awareness is there, and it's a good thing she's doing, and obviously she's been put through the pace there, and she's still got is it 13 miles is it to do as well?
Yeah,
is it 13 miles?
so.
Which, I mean, she's a part of the club, and obviously she loves this club, and fair play to her, because I know a lot of people who probably couldn't do a footballing warm-up, and she's done it, and she's raising awareness, so I'm hoping that she gets a lot of support, and a lot of money goes into it.
Yeah, there are just a few spaces left to get your testing done if you haven't as yet, so please do have a look at it. Remember, the kick-off time for the Huddersfield game has been changed, but please do not let that affect you at all. Go down, get tested. It could save your life. And please sponsor Tracy and the team running for the half marathon. A huge team effort, and well done to all of you. So Brownie, let's just finish this off then. Got to do that. Look ahead to tomorrow night. How do you see it going, and how important is it we carry on our great home form?
Well, we should be full of confidence, brimming with confidence with the results. You know, I think if you go, if the form guide, 5 games, 10 games, 15 games, Birmingham 1, we're 2. That's how good and sustained our run has been. But Barnsley not bad away. You know, despite where they are in the league and maybe recent form, they've got the 3rd best away record. So this isn't a walk in the park. This is one where we're going to have to be on it. We should be brimming with confidence. We should be on the front foot. I think we're going to see a really good Valley crowd tomorrow. Get right behind this team. But they've got to go and earn the right. Barnsley are not just going to be a pushover here. We've had quite a few games recently where we've earned the right and then we've dominated, and we have dominated. I'm not sure we're going to dominate tomorrow, but we've got to find a way to win it.
We're on the 90-minute mark, so we've got to go. But I reckon we could go just into injury time a little bit. One more question, Curbs. For tomorrow night, again, we've talked about it, the synergy between the fans and the players. It seems to be there right now. Some even suggesting they haven't felt like this since Bo's promotion push as well. So how important is it, one, the fans come down, but also two, really get behind the lads, especially when it is going to be difficult, because it will be at times.
Yeah, but as I said earlier, I think we've been here too often where the fans are trying to lift the players. It's looking like now the players are lifting the fans, you know, and that's a big difference. That the fans are going to be coming in here tomorrow night expecting, you know, and let's hope we get off to a good start. And the atmosphere is what we're used to, and I'm sure it's going to be our result. Because I'm looking at Barnsley, they're a high-scoring game at the weekend, but we've got 3 or 4 games coming up now with teams, big names, if you like, and around us, and then we've got a run of teams that ain't so good. So if we can get through this period, you know, and then go into the running, it looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. Chaps, great stuff. That's it. Are we ready to debrief?
Absolutely.
I think, and leave my sister alone, please. Honestly. One more sleep and it's a huge game for the Addicts tomorrow night against Barnsley. Remember, it's the final game under lights, isn't it, here as well? So please get behind the boys. Every 90 minutes matter. We'll see you once again next month, and I suspect there will be even more to talk about. So as we finished so well at the weekend, we have to finish like this. Bye for now.